Welcome back to today, guys. Time for another first impression video from Netflix. Welcome once again. There is one thing that I do appreciate of Netflix when it comes to anime, and that is that they are reviving some classics and they're doing a good job about them. I'm going to be honest. This is another one that is an older series. I had heard about it before just because of the otaku culture has talked about it before, but it's not a very typical series that people know about. It is one that should be talked more about, but hopefully this is re revived through Netflix. Now, the actual animator is Bones, and Bones is a pretty big company. They have stuff included like Wolf's Rain, Scrap Princess, Eureka 7, Soul Eater, Euron High School Host Club, Full Metal Alchemist, and they have a lot of stuff under their belt. So it's a pretty good company. Um, it is a series that has 12 episodes, but it has been out already before. Now, before anything, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. I do quite a bit of first impression videos here and there, guys. The next season is going to be starting pretty soon in July. I think this video probably will be posted mid-June. So, yeah, perfect timing to first impression videos. Thank you so much for the love and support that you do show this channel. If you want to continue supporting the channel, make sure you check out my other videos here. Thank you, and let's start this first impression. So again, series itself dates back to the 70s, late 70s. So this is one of the OP series, and this is why I had heard of it, but really not a lot. Just the manga cover is interesting. It is one of those series that is talked about just because of the science fiction behind it. It being, such an interesting topic, especially in the 70s with Star Wars already out and Star Trek already out. Was Star Trek in the 70s? I believe Star Trek was also releasing in the 70s. So Japan was also in that science fiction, futuristic, time traveling type of deal. And this is what we're dealing with this series. So 1978 to 1986 is when the manga release. So first 5 volumes and then 3 later editions released of the series. The anime had a TV film, not an anime series. It had a film, and the film itself ran in 1989. So after the manga was already released, and it was about an hour and a half series. So. It was a TV special broadcasted on Nippon TV. If you know about it, you know about it. And then now it's releasing again. Now, the original name of the series was Time Patrol Bond, or at least that's the original American name. Now it is TP Bond, which is more similar to what the Japanese had it as. TP Bond has 12 episodes, and they're all already pre-released, or not pre-released, fully released on Netflix. So, um, that is in a nutshell the history behind it. So what is it about? Well, we follow the story of Bon Namihita, and essentially he is a average kid that he talks about in the beginning, how he's not the best but not the worst student, not the best but not the worst kid. He doesn't do so well in class but doesn't do horribly bad. He's just there in the middle, right? So he starts seeing weird reoccurrence in his life. One is that day and night happen real fast. Another one is where he's hanging out with his friend and his friend dies, and then all of a sudden he's not dead, right? That whole scene was crazy on its own. But we also, as a viewer, are seeing a girl running around in the background, knowing that she's probably involved with all these incidents. He also sees a little yellow ghost thing floating around at one point and freaks out, doesn't know what to think about it, and everyone just thinks that he is losing it because why in the world is he thinking all this, right? Well, he ends up finding out that there is a girl with this green, sorry, yellow ghost um, thing involved, and he doesn't know who or what they are, but they're involved, right? So he ends up finding this weird machine, and he ends up back in the past. It does take him a while to realize that he's back in the past, but immediately when he arrives, he loses the machine. He doesn't know how, but he starts looking for it, and eventually um, he finds the girl with the little yellow ghost, and they're being chased by some, guy from 800 years ago. And she ends up showing him that she can stop time for a few seconds. They run away, and eventually they find the machine, right? So this is what's all happening, because it's very confusing up to this point, and then she kind of explains. She is a part of an organization that essentially tries to save people's lives. They're able to control time, go back and forth. They can reverse, but it's not really something that they should be using. Um, and they do this so that they can save people's lives from just tragedies that shouldn't really happen. Like in his friend's case, he was one of the victims that she was looking at, and it was just a weird accident that he fell off the balcony and just died, right? So she was trying to save him from dying. So she used the reverse button, reversed his life, was able to save him the second time, right? Um, Very weird, but that's her job. She does explain that a big part of her job is essentially she cannot reverse anyone who is important to history. So she can't go and basically make Abraham Lincoln not exist, or the guy who invented the atomic bomb not exist, right? Because they're important parts of history, and that will completely change history as it could be, right? So um, she's explaining all this with another agent there present, and then they're like, well, bad news is we gotta erase you, which means not killing him, but they do have to go back in time and make sure that his parents don't have him. And he freaks out. He's like, I don't want to be erased. So he starts fighting them, and eventually he ends up back in his time. And yeah, he's about to be erased. They show up, and they're like, you know what? We went to your future, and we saw that you're actually a big part in the timeline of this world, so we can't really erase you. So now all he the only choice he has, because he knows a secret, is to join the organization. And that, in a nutshell, is the episode. We don't get a lot of what's going to happen in this series itself, but it is going to be a lot of time traveling, him going and saving people, so on and so forth, learning the ropes of this whole organization. So, personally, I'm excited for it. It's a good series. The animation is definitely 80s, 90s animation, mid 80s animation. It is very much better viewed. It's it's that rough sketching, like not fan service at all type of animation that we get from the 80s. Another series that reminded me, and this is another one that was revived by Netflix, is Akuma Kun. They have that style, so it's not rough where it's like, oh man, this is really bad animation, but it still has that style where the characters are drawn differently from what we're accustomed nowadays. So just FYI, throw that out. It's not an old series. It did release this year, but the animation is just different. It's mimicking to its time. So thank you guys so much for watching this. Let me know if you're watching this or not. Probably by the time this video releases, I probably have finished the entire series. We'll be probably reviewing it in the next few weeks. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this. If you haven't done so by now, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you post in the comment section who you are if you're new to my channel, so I can talk to you and introduce you to my channel personally. So thank you again, and like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.